The Marty and Gus show.
The course now. Is it course?
Par. So I think that's a term, a golfing term. Par for the course.
Par for the course.
It's interesting we use golfing terminology in real life. Like
Well, that's about life.
Let's tee off.
Golf is life.
Let's tee off. Well, actually, you should tell that story about golf where you related it to what it was. Remember, you said what golf is really a metaphor for.
Well,
you remember?
yeah, of course I remember because I can't stand the game as Marty.
I do remember that you played well that time.
Yeah, I did, but that was like it's boring.
But you played better than most people.
But anyway,
who players.
To me, the golf club is an extension of the phallus.
It's a phallic symbol.
Well, of course.
Not
so it represents the phallus.
Like the obelisks in Egypt.
Yeah, correct.
So it's just another modern day. Well, modern, but I'll go into the.
Well, no, but that's historical.
The story of
this
golf.
Is
that historical? Historical.
Historical.
Continue on that, please.
But it could be hysterical as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, the club is the phallus, right? And of course, the ball gets hit, gets ejected, and of course the life force is ejaculated out of the phallus. I mean, sorry to be so specific, but that's what it's about. What else could it be about?
But what's
and whoever's got the longest club.
Yeah, but what about the hole in the flag?
Oh well, you know,
because didn't you say the ball
it's
goes
seek,
in the hole?
Seek and destroy. You go find the flag, and then you know.
Oh, but it basically emanates by the finality of going in the hole.
Correct. Yeah, it gets in the hole.
It's interesting.
That's where you're at.
It's interesting.
And it depends on how many strokes you have before it gets in the hole.
I think it's interesting. I think we have to do.
So I'm not sure this is really.
Nah, well, I thought look, it's a bit.
But hey, you know, we've got to be honest.
No,
this is what we think.
It's a bit around sport, I guess. And I think we have to do another episode on sport. But I'd like to elaborate on it because it's interesting that where do all these things, golf originate?
Okay, how obvious is that? To me, that's the sexual act.
Well, yeah,
that's
mate,
it.
I guess
it is.
It has become that way. But I think how golf originated was there was on the Irish hills there was a board shepherd with his staff. And the staff is a rod with a little hook on the end, and he decided to hit around turds, lamb droppings, because he had nothing else to do. He was watching a sheep, and he'd start hitting him across the field, and then that sort of started to evolve. I mean, how do sports evolve? I mean, they weren't steel shafts; they were hickory, and then obviously it evolved from a staff.
So where did you get that from?
Well, I have read about it and has done some intensive research around it, and because there was a lot of history around that, it may have started in Ireland. But what I wanted to go on to there was that
you have to agree about the golfing.
I'm not disagreeing with, because you always say
what do you call it? A metaphor. It's a metaphor.
Metaphor, but you also you talk about the fact that we have a lot of. You think about it, most things are ball sports.
Of course they are.
So I'm not sure we have a fascination with things that are around. But the other one I wanted to do for those that are in the UK and Australia, Canada, and any of the old British colonies is cricket. Now, cricket's an interesting one. How did cricket originate? Anybody in the US be wondering, it's a really strange sport. But there was a journalist, I'm not sure if he's still alive now, called Phillip Adams. And cricket is a sport where originally
stuck down your throat again.
Cricket was a sport originated where people wore white. Now the teams both wore white, so there was a batting team, usually two batters, and there's the fielding team to catch it. So everybody wore white, and it was what they call a cricket pitch, which is about 50 metres or about 50 yards or a bit more longer. And it had three stumps at each end, and they would bowl a red cricket ball, and three stumps. So Phillip Adams, Phillip Adams put the analogy out, if I want to call it that, or how cricket may have originated was. So everybody's wearing white, so everybody's an angel, and this originated from religion. Everybody's an angel. There's the three posts at each end, and so they were the Holy Trinity, and the red ball was the demon. So the person bowling it to the opposition with the bat was trying to have the demon knock out the Holy Trinity. So this is where some theory this person's theory was that this sport, cricket, originated from a religious premise, that it was all to do with the fact that the devil was trying to knock over the Holy Trinity and the angels were there to protect it. Anyway, I thought I'd mention that.
That's actually pretty good. I like
On sport, and I think we have to talk about sport a bit more at some stage. But yeah, definitely, I think you're a lover of ball sports, as you keep telling me.
No, I don't. I'm just saying that there's always a ball involved.
Yeah, but not usually. There's usually one ball. There's not usually two, is there? There's always one ball because everybody wants to get that.
Unless it's billiards, but then there's the white ball.
Oh, billiards, yeah, billiards and
I like
snooker,
billiards,
pocket billiards.
There's pretty much every sport is.
And I always wonder why with billiards originally, although in the US they had blue tablecloth, but a lot of the English and other ones had green. So is that meant to be like a version of lawn bowls, perhaps? Why they use green
I don't know.
as the coverage of the slate, which they put it on.
This is another segue. It's like Saab, right? Because I like the Saabs.
This is a way off segue, mate.
Yeah, it is, because when they first built the Saabs, there was a lot of green paint.
Can you just stop tapping?
There was a lot of when they started to build the Saab cars after the Second World War. There was they had all the assemblies and the factories and all set up for production. So they made the Saab car, but they had a lot of the green paint, the army paint, and that's the first colour of the Saab was green. So maybe the billiard tables were same thing.
Can you tell me what Saab stood for?
Yeah, Swedish autumn something billiard.
Yeah, I think you're close. Yeah, Swedish
Automobilia,
something. I can't remember what I was.
Well, billiard is, I think,
that was
car for Swedish.
Billiard? Yeah. Was that?
And Swedish was the S.
Is that like billiards?
No, well, maybe.
Subscribe and do all that stuff.